What is democracy? This is a question a lot of people know a tiny bit of the answer to, but not all of it. Cody, what is your definition of democracy?
A big word.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you think this is a problem with today's society that people don't know what democracy means?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Do we live in a democracy?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Eli, what is your definition of democracy?
Democracy is a government made by the people for the people, and it doesn't have one ruler making all the rules and everybody votes for everything.
Don't get me wrong, in a democracy there does need to be a leader. This leader can propose ideas which will get voted on by the people, but he cannot just come up with his own laws for the people to follow. Democracy the best form of government? Well, that depends on where you live. If you live in a country where you have a dictator who's making selfish decisions and not caring about the people, you might want a democracy. But if you live in a democracy and they can't agree on anything, then you might want a dictator so he can just make decisions for himself and the people. Live in a democracy or a dictatorship?
A democracy.
Why?
Because I have a better chance of getting what I want, because other people might be thinking the same thing I am.
The fault of democracy is if more people are voting against your opinion than with it, you can't really do anything about it. But if it's a dictatorship and a lot of people are feeling the same way you are, you might be able to protest it like the people did in Egypt. The government shutdown this year was a prime example of democracy. The president proposed a budget, a whole bunch of people looked it over, and they felt it didn't seem fit. So the budget was denied. Now if it were a dictatorship, the person in charge would have said, here's our budget, here's the money we're spending for this year, and then it would have just been enforced because no one else can oppose him. So that's one way democracy could fail you, and a dictatorship could be better. This is where us as voters have to be careful how we use our power, because we do vote on the people who propose the laws, and the people who propose the budgets and all that stuff, and the people who look them over. So we really have to make sure we know that the people that we are voting for really know what they're doing, so that way our government can function properly. The cool thing about democracy is that if everybody felt that Buddy here was fit to be president and they all voted for him, we would have Buddy the dog as our president.